Alright, what's going on, y'all? We are back with another SunDae market talk. Um, I did not make a video last week. Um, to be honest, I just wasn't in the mood. And I had a game plan that I just wanted to execute on. It wasn't necessarily a game plan of focusing on charts, as crazy as that may sound, but more so of a game plan of focusing on sticking to whatever the plan was. And so I created a game plan throughout the week, um, and ended up executing on it, and I seen very good results. And so that's my focus coming into, you know, the next few weeks, next few months of trading is just really focusing on sticking on a game plan. As simple as that may sound, um, sometimes we allow our emotions or what we think to take control of the trade, and when that happens, it never goes the way we want it to. But I've noticed with me, whenever I come up with a game plan, even if it doesn't work right then and there, right when I want it to, it usually works. And of course, that's mainly thanks to the wolf chart. But, the game plan works whenever I sit down and create one. So that was my focus. That's still going to remain my focus. But now we're just back on track with our SunDae market talk. So, getting into this, I want to start with QQQ. QQQ, we closed pretty weak on Friday. Thursday, you can see we had this run up. We broke this 715 level, which was the previous all-time high. We broke above this yellow zone, which is what I'm going to call the wolf money zones. We ended up pushing up, popped above 720, and ended up rejecting 720. 722, but did we close? Yeah, we closed under 720. And then Friday, I think it was a gap down, right? Yeah, Friday we gapped down, and then we ended up waking up to the 715, which was the previous all-time high. And you can see we ended up rejecting it, making a low around 705.50, closing under 710. So Friday was a pretty weak day, but also important, just telling us, what moves the market may want to make soon. And getting in and really looking back at the charts and charting it, it looks like we could get a flip of momentum here pretty soon. So getting into this, if you look on, let me just make sure, on the higher time frames, we do have some liquidity down here, being, a bullish fair value gap. Same with the 2 week. 1 month fair value gap sitting at 640. So we have some good bullish liquidity under us. But if we just scale down to the 6 hour, you can see that we have this bullish order block. And under this bullish order block, we really have nothing until this yellow zone, which is last month's low, and this bullish order block. Then we have the 200 EMA. And if you also pay attention to the volume right here, you can see, well, it kind of changed on me, but you can see that from right here to right here isn't that much volume. And then we get this volume spike around here. But if we lose this level, you can see we really have no volume until we sweep our yellow money zone, right? And then after that, of course, we have the order block. And past that, it kind of dies out again. I'm just drawing lines everywhere, huh? Okay, really. And so with that being said, if we lose this order block right here, next we just have some levels, which if we go to the lower time frames, there'll probably be some order blocks here. But as we know, what matters is these higher time frames. On the day chart, if we lose that 6 hour order block on a day chart, you see there's really not much stopping us other than like the 12 EMA. On the 3 day chart, not much stopping us. On the 1 week chart, we have this, like I said, this bullish fair value gap. So this becomes a pretty big magnet, if we lose this 6 hour order block. So coming into the week, what I'll be looking for is to see if we retest anywhere in this area. And anywhere in this area can be an entry for me. Now, How will I time my entry? Using some of these liquidity levels. So 713, 715, 716. We have the top of this box, and then we have, our previous day close and our all-time highs. But for me, as long as we're under this box, I'm bearish. If we're in the middle of this range, I don't want to trade it because it could just be a chop fest. Now, yes, you can trade it because it'd be what, pretty much a $4 move, $4 or $5 move almost. And there's money to be made in this range, but there's going to be no clear decision. If we break above, close above, and hold, then that means we could go to the upside, take out this high, and possibly push further. Which, if we turn on our auto fib, we can see we have levels at like 727, 735, we'd say. 725, 765. If we're looking at these higher time frames. I just wanted to make sure of that. So, wrong one, auto fib. So, like I said, looking at that, paying attention to this yellow box. If we're above, bullish. If we're below, bearish. If we're in the middle, no trade zone. For me, these yellow boxes are helping me a lot because it's becoming that simple. Just pay attention to it. Overall, this is our whole range right here. What am I looking for? From this yellow box to this yellow box is the range we're playing at. We're trying to get in at the top of this range and take it to the bottom, or we're trying to get in at the bottom and take it to the top. So that's my watch for cues. As far as day trading wise, I will see how we open up come futures, and then once we get our pre-market move, we'll be back on schedule for our pre-market watch list videos. But this is just my overall idea for cues. I don't know how long this will take to play out. I don't know if it will play out, but this level down here has a really big is really big on my radar. And like I said, if we lose this bullish order block, that kind of signals that we can go down here and possibly take this out. We'll have some, resistance or whatever, or support at these levels where, these bulls are sitting. But if we clear them, if we get rid of those, then we're bound to push. Next, going over to, we also have NVIDIA earnings this week on Wednesday. And then we have FOMC minutes on Wednesday. And we have some more data on Thursday and Friday. I think Monday and Tuesday will be kind of data free. But those Wednesday through Friday, we'll have some data coming out for the market. Next, we have Tesla. Tesla, I'm kind of excited for. I'm testing, like I said, something out. I want to see if this Tesla play will play out how I think it can play out. I did have a trade plan last week of like 450 being a level, and if we were under 450, we could fall. I just didn't follow through with the trade plan. I don't even think I finished it. But that level rejected, ended up working. Above it, you're bullish. Below it, you're bearish. But now charting this, seeing, our wolf money zones here, if we're under this range right here, we can fall to like this 400 range, which is where a lot of liquidity is sitting. And so for Tesla, what I'll be looking for is a retest of this zone, or maybe even this 430, and then a pullback. If we can pop up here to 437, you can see I have this alert set as a put swing level. And I'll swing puts probably down to this 400 range if we retest this and stay under this. So I'd be looking for like a liquidity sweep up here. If we swept the liquidity, close back in this box, and then lost this box over time. Let's see if I can draw it out. Let's see if I'm a good enough drawer. Okay. I don't know where the market's going to open, of course, and I don't know how long this will take, but let's say we come up, retest this box, we reclaim the box, hold, and at some point we hold this level at 430, break and hold it, bounce off 430 and end up getting a sweep to this put swing level. I'll get my entry here, and depending on what the market is looking like, I'll figure out what I want to use as my stop. because you can see that we have a just gap down right here. Let's see if I can grab a rectangle. We have a gap down right here, so market closes above this 437 level, we could go into gap fill mode, but I would want to see either a liquidity sweep or some kind of rejection off this 437 level. Once I gain the confidence, I'd get filled for my swing trade, and from there what I'd be looking for is we get back under, maybe retest this level, reject off the top of our box, lose this level, reject 430, lose our box, maybe reject our box, and then we start making our move down. Of course, it might not be that clean, but this is the idea I would want to see. First, I would want to see this bullish trend go in, get weak in this area, and then hopefully we could get our downtrend to this. And if this plays out exactly like this, I'll get in on some long-term swings for 500. So that's just kind of my overall game plan on Tesla. Like I said, I don't know how long it'll take to play out or if it'll play out, but I just want to leave y'all with my idea, with what I've been studying. And like I said, I've been in the lab this week, and so even if nobody listens to these, I want to document it for me to see if it played out, if I had the right idea, or just what happened, kind of like my diary, so that I'm sharing with y'all. So that's my overall plan for Tesla. As far as day trading, like I said, I have these levels. As long as we're under this box, I'm bearish to our next levels, and I'll have a more in detail game plan when the market opens up and when I get a vibe for how I'm feeling about Tesla. But basically just taking trades off of our levels. This isn't really our watch list or exactly where we want to take our trades from, just because we don't know where the market is going to open up just yet, or what news is going to come out, what volume. But it's an idea for the start of the week. So that's Tesla. Last chart I have is gold, but let's look at Meta real quick. Meta, I built a trade plan on Meta. And I actually kind of got caught in the zone on Friday. I took like 2 losses on Meta, trading in between this zone. These boxes aren't yellow because I just started making my boxes yellow. And like I said, I'm calling them the wolf money zones. Let me give a breakdown of that. So I'm calling these the wolf money zones, and then in between these zones is just emotional zones. If you watched the Mother's Day recording and you heard Coach say that market moves from liquidity to liquidity, these are our big liquidity zones, and market wants to go down to this liquidity zone at some point, right? And so all in between these 2 yellow boxes are just where your emotions lay. And I wish I had my QQQ chart before I removed it of my trade from Friday, but Friday, that mindset helped me because I was in a trade and I wasn't confident if it was going to go or not. But I just trusted my stop loss. I trusted my levels. I trusted the plan. And, I ended up gaining over 100%. I think that trade did like 200%. Some QQQ longs, and it played out exactly how I wanted it to. And I didn't get caught in the emotional zone. I was right there from just closing my trade at like 30% or so. But I was like, I'm going to just let it ride, let it play out. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So, like I said, in between these zones, calling them emotional zones because that's where your emotions take over. And on Meta, that's exactly what happened. I think I was trying to take some shorts off of like 615, not realizing we're in the middle of this zone and the trade plan didn't work out. But if I would have waited till the 620 level, you can see I would have got a nice, just clean short all the way back down to 612, going into market close. So this losing the 2 scalps on this trade, or the 2 trades, definitely helped me realize like there's no point of trading this. I never have what I need ready. There's no point of trading all of this. All of this right here, there's just no point of trading it. You don't know which way it's gonna go. You might be able to catch some scalps, but you know, we want our A plus moves. We want our moves that's gonna pay us, and we get to go on about our day. We don't want to be sitting in this getting chopped up, especially because I also trade 0 DTE contracts pretty often. And you know, chop like this or getting stuck in the wrong way can just eat you up so much. So with meta, what I'd want to see is us under 610. If we get under 610, this box basically turns red and it becomes our new supply zone. But like I said, we want our zones to be yellow. And I need to rechart this and just make sure my levels are, you know, where I want them and on point. But I did have a key level at 625. You can see we didn't tap it, but you know, we're rejecting the 625. We got under 620. Now we're back at the 610. And if we get under 610, the next level I have is 603. After that, 596, 592, and we could possibly see continuation, you know, to the downside. But that's my trade idea for meta. It looks pretty good. Hopefully we can get a break at this 610 or retest 625 and then get our continuation down. But whatever happens, I'll be watching this meta chart. And last but not least, we have gold. If you followed, I think I sent it out to the Wolf Empire, and my Discord I talked about it some. This level right here, or this gap right here. Wait, sorry. Okay, no, right here. So gold coming into the week, I was looking for this 420 retest for longs, and I actually didn't start paying attention to this chart until like Thursday or Friday. Like I caught this trade last minute. This is a trade that I uploaded on my video. I mean, on my this is the trade I uploaded on my YouTube about like a 300% gold trade. So I actually caught this trade last minute, and I won't go over it too much because I already explained what I was looking for. But we ended up filling this gap. We gapped down into it, pushed lower, and got a really nice swing trade from this. But with gold, what I'll be looking for is for us to hold this level. And if we hold this level, like this 410 level, basically our wolf money zone, if we hold our wolf money zone and we start getting our indicators to show that, you know, we're kind of flipping bullish, which on the lower time frame it looks a little better than the higher time frame. Like the 1 hour, yeah, the 1 hour kind of looks nice. The 4 hour doesn't look too good right now. 6 hour doesn't look good at all. These are my hot butter knives. But what I'll be looking for is probably a sweep of this order block. And same thing goes, if we close under this order block, we're going down to our next level. But I think gold can hold here. So I'll be watching for a sweep of this order block and maybe it playing in our wolf money zone somewhere. And if we hold this zone and get back above the top of it, I think gold can have a really nice push back to this 436 area. And if we get a strong close above this candle right here, that'll be the reclaim of the 200 EMA. That'll be the reclaim of this wolf money zone. And that'll be a close over this candle, which was a really strong candle. And we'll get probably a push into this 440 range, possibly even 450 over time, you know, to maybe take out this order block. So we'll see what happens with gold, but that's another chart that is on my radar, especially since I started up a new prop firm. I started up some more prop firm accounts, so I'll be looking to trade gold on those live accounts and seeing if I could get a couple payouts from just trading gold. Because when gold is ready to go, you know, it moves like a rocket. So that's my Sunday market talk. Those are the main things I'm watching. I'll probably chart some more things. But I just want to take my time with what I'm looking at, really craft up some game plans, write them down, you know, in my journal, my actual like physical journal, and just keeping these as reminders to myself that if I just take my time and really chart something out, I can, I can really understand where the market is going.